Rodeo road trip in full effect. Yeah, we good. We just eating. Today wasn't Mike's fault. We started late because I was getting some food. I know everybody feels a certain way about Whataburger, but I don't give a fuck. It's still good. Fuck no, I ain't apologizing for shit. What has this Spurs team done for you lately? Keep losing.
That was our highest watched show in weeks.
It's always good when we get pledged on.
It is.
They lost without Fox with no whip. They're going to continue to lose with them too. It don't fucking matter.
It does matter, dude. Spurs are in the right direction.
Yeah, but they still have the Spurs.
It's too little too late for this season.
Yeah, man, it's a wash. They might be a little better, but I still don't think they're going to get into the play.
Welcome to another episode of the Area 210 podcast with Mike Jimenez and Joe Garcia. Make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Join the discussion as we broadcast to you live from beautiful West San Antonio. And remember to tip your host as it helps the show grow.
What's up, San Antonio? What's going on, South Texas? This is the Area 210 podcast coming at you from the west side of San Antonio. My name is Michael Jimenez. That is Joe Garcia. We're going to go for about an hour 15 today. We started a little bit late because Joe was a little bit hungry.
Yeah, I was.
He was a little hangry. You know, typically I'm the one running a few minutes late, but Joe called me. I got here 5 minutes early. Joe called me and said, dude, I'm in the Whataburger drive-thru right now.
Yep.
Getting you some breakfast.
Honey butter chicken biscuit.
Dude, there's nothing better than that, man. We gotta talk about that, man, because when it comes to fast food breakfast, back in the day, it was all about McDonald's, right?
Oh, yeah.
You go in there, you get the bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit, the big breakfast with hotcakes.
Or the McMuffin.
As a kid, you grow up just kind of craving that, right? They turned it up one notch with the McGriddle a few years ago, and I'm a big fan of the McGriddle. But think about like the fast food here in town. And I know we're going to have the John Dyers of the world who listens to our show, who's like, no, you got to go to a taqueria. Sometimes you don't want to have a taco, man. Sometimes you just want to have something a little bit different. And places like Bill Miller's and Whataburger, to some extent, Chick-fil-A kind of hit the spot, man. It can't be tacos every day.
Man, if you be eating tacos every day, you're going to be looking like Zion.
Like Zion. They look like Luka. Dude, Luka Doncic yesterday when he presented himself to the Lakers and he did that video. Dude, okay, I can stand to lose some more weight, right? But that guy, he big. He big. You know, what I didn't realize, Joe, about the whole Luka Doncic trade to the Lakers for Anthony Davis was the fact that it cost him $100 million, not including taxes.
110.
Because he doesn't qualify for the Supermax anymore because he's not being signed by his own team. And on top of that, you have state income taxes of 13.6% in the state of California when they play games in California. So it's not only when he plays for the Lakers, those 41 games, but it's those 3 or 4 games against the Clippers. It's those games against Golden State. It's the games against Sacramento, where he's having to pay a 13.6% amount. On top of that, they pay taxes in Canada when they go play the Raptors.
Wow.
So it's kind of interesting, which brings up the question. I had a debate with somebody the other day on Twitter about De'Aaron Fox, and everyone was like, just wait until he becomes a free agent, right?
No.
Joe, no one becomes a free agent in the
anymore.
NBA.
No.
It doesn't happen anymore. Back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, early 2000s, you would say, let somebody play out their contract and then go make a move for them. But what do players want, dude? Players want to have peace of mind and security, and they get that peace of mind and security by getting extensions, right?
Yeah.
You and I were looking last year at the 2025 free agents. Guess what happened to all top 20 of them? Gone. They all re-signed before their contract was up. They re-signed 6 months before their contract was up.
And why? Because it's cheaper for the team to do that versus they go into free agency and the price tag goes up.
It's a win-win situation. The player gets the security that they want. The team gets to have the fact that they have a little bit of leverage. If, in fact, that player wants to leave, they can at least get something for them because they at least have that guy on contract for 2 or 3 years, right?
Yeah.
De'Aaron Fox has a certain price point of what you trade for him because he has 15 months left on his salary, right, of his contract. If he had 3 months left, you don't get as much. If he had 3 years on that contract, you get more, right?
Yeah.
So you get a little bit of leverage. So it's a win-win situation. But I'm going to make one prediction, Joe.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit outlandish, but I think it's going to be true. I think that Luka Doncic is going to be the first outright superstar free agent that we've had in 2 decades. He has no incentive to re-sign with the Lakers because every other team has the ability to sign him. Okay, so look at Wemby with the Spurs, right? Wemby's going to sign a max deal that he can get after the 1 year contract, the 4 year contract with the Spurs, right? The Spurs have Wemby services for 8 years, right? We have 4 years, and then we have the extension because we have the ability to sign him as a restricted free agent afterwards. So even if he wanted to go to the Lakers or if Wemby wanted to go someplace else, you can actually pin him down and go, nope, you're a restricted free agent. We're going to match whatever offer you get, and there you go. At some point, when that contract runs out, the Spurs have the ability to sign him for the higher amount compared to any other team, right? Because that's the whole point of the NBA. They want you to keep your players. But if Luka Doncic has no ability to make any more money than with the Lakers and anywhere else, and in fact would make more money returning to the Mavericks, going to the Rockets or the Spurs because of no state income tax, he would actually make more money over here.
Well,
now, I know you have the glitz and glamour of LA, and that is a long succession of superstars that you've had over there from Kareem to Magic to Kobe to Shaq to, you go all the way to LeBron James, everything in between. And maybe he wants to start something in LA. Maybe he thinks that it's his brand.
I guarantee you he's going to lose weight in LA because you know what? They all do that Ozempic over there, bro.
They do, but on top of that, you have LeBron James over there. And if he's going to play with LeBron James, and I don't care if it's for one season or just the remainder of this year, he's going to see what it's like for a professional to actually take his job seriously. It's amazing. Look how good Luka Doncic is right now. All NBA player. He's doing it in a situation where he's not in peak physical condition. Right?
Yeah.
Imagine what he would do if he was actually in shape.
He rocking the dad bod, man.
But dude, if he's doing this with the dad bod, he chisels up. Are you kidding me?
I don't know. Maybe his girl likes him fluffy, man.
That maybe so, but the fact of the matter is, we're seeing him perform in a manner that is not at his highest peak.
Yeah,
and it's true. If he can slim down 20 or 30 pounds, 15, 20, 30 pounds, maybe add some muscle or whatnot, and he's doing 28 points per game with a dad bod. Give him Giannis's bod. Give him David Robinson's bod.
The chiseled physique.
Maybe just a little bit thinner. July 26th, Richard Allen says he's only 25, not even in his prime. He could improve even more. And that's the thing. Maybe this is a good thing for Luka Doncic. Maybe this turns him from a superstar to a legend because a couple of things. First and foremost, he goes to a bigger market, right? So he has the Dallas is the big market in itself.
Glitz and glamour.
There's a difference between LA and Dallas as well, right?
Oh, yeah.
But he goes over there And there's only maybe 2 or 3 players in the league right now who can tell him to STFU. Shut the hell up.
Yeah.
Right? And one of them is LeBron James. Because how can Luka Doncic go? And I know it's going to be Luka's team, right? They're passing the baton potentially to him. I know that they say that LeBron James was not consulted in any of this. It's kind of weird because I actually believe it because the 2 parties involved are friends.
I try to keep you,
The
AD, but
2
they don't
owners.
want you.
But you look at that. How can Luka Doncic do what he do when he looks at LeBron James and does that? We saw that about Steven Jackson. Remember Steven Jackson for the Spurs? Captain Jack?
Yeah.
Who does not like being disrespected? Steven Jackson talked about that, right?
Oh, he talked shit to Pop and what is it?
Well,
when they were out there?
after the fact. After the fact, right, Joe?
Yeah, they were training or doing their thing, practice or what have you. And the word on the street was him and Pop had an exchange of words, right? But Captain Jack is Captain Jack, and he probably just had enough, exploded, said things that he shouldn't have.
Right.
And then what did Coach Pop said? Your name is gone.
Well, here's the thing. Steven Jackson did say about the Spurs that in his time here, he saw that Pop was just brutal to Tim, right? And he was brutal to Tony and brutal to Manu, right? This was back in the day when Pop was the GOAT. You look at that, though. Steven Jackson said that he was forced to fall in line. And why was he falling in line? Because he saw Duncan over there fall in the line. He saw Duncan, and if Duncan, who was a superstar and an MVP and a champion, is taking it, who is he as Steven Jackson going to take this, right? Who is he to say no? Who is he to be special and different when he's not as good as Tim, Tony, and Manu, right? Luka Doncic is going to go into a situation right now where he sees LeBron James.
Look at speaking of which.
Right. Yeah, Luka, Luka, get your ass to the gym. Look, I'm good, comrade. Bring me a beer. That's what Sam Salinas is saying on our YouTube stream, which, by the way, powered by MCS General Contracting. Thank you so much. LeBron, the whole thing about CP3 mentoring Stephon Castle, dude, I don't care if it's for 3 months. Luka Doncic is going to look at LeBron James and go, oh my God, that's what it takes to be a professional. That's what it takes to have a 21-year career. Because the way that Luka Doncic is going, Joe, Luka Doncic wasn't going to have a 20-year career. You can't rock the dad bod and be good for long.
Look at what LeBron's done, and he's already getting up there in age.
Right.
Chris Paul getting up there in age. They keep themselves in prime peak condition, right?
Right.
Because in order for you to have longevity, you have to take care of your body, right? And Luka, he is what he is right now. Great shooter, whatnot. He hits those big buckets in those big moments, right, in the playoffs. But the issue is the big question mark they all had was the work ethic as far as him working on himself, his body, the longevity, a lot of question marks. And at the end of the day, the Dallas Mavericks said, we just don't want to pay him.
It was wrong for the Mavericks to do it, though.
It's wrong, but I mean, they have every right to.
The problem that you have with the Mavericks is that that's a new GM, dude.
Yeah, well, he just showed everybody he don't give 2 Fs about anybody.
And he also is responsible to somebody else. He's responsible to the owner of that team. And there's going to be a big backlash in Dallas when it comes to it because this never happens, Joe. 40 years. This is the first big trade like this in 40 years. Now, you've had all NBA players change teams, right? All first team all NBA. LeBron did it twice, right? You had Anthony Davis do it once. So it has happened before where all NBA first team players change teams. But a trade like this hasn't happened since Ralph Sampson in the 80s.
Yeah.
The problem that you have with Luka Doncic, though, is the Dallas fans, they are up in arms. We make mention of the fact, and I bring this up pretty periodically, the fact that Tim Duncan flirted with the Orlando Magic after 3 or 4 seasons with the Spurs, right?
Yeah.
Imagine if the Spurs had traded Tim Duncan.
Hey, they didn't, but he almost left, in that infamous
But let's just say that
they had traded.
let's just say that they said, "Oh my God, he wants to leave,"
And,
or whatever.
Right after he won the first championship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now Luka's been to the finals twice.
Yeah,
hasn't won, but he's been there twice. So that's not saying that he's a scrub who's nobody. He took 2 teams to the finals with Kyrie Irving that were under talented compared to everybody else, right? I mean, those 2 are really good, but everybody else was kind of just. But you look at that team, Joe. If the Spurs had gotten rid of Duncan and Duncan had gone off and done great things with the Lakers or Orlando, whatever, we'd be kicking ourselves. Now it's a Dallas Maverick fan out there who's going to be looking at Luka Doncic's career and going to be like, he didn't even want to go. If he becomes all NBA, he wins a chip in LA. He never wanted to leave. That general manager doesn't have the goodwill, the ability to say to that team, hey, you know who I am. I have a track record here.
Yeah. I do like Matt Lerma's comment here. Because what do they call Luka in Dallas? Gone.
No, that's what one person called.
Yeah.
I saw this guy from the fan in Dallas. I forgot his name. But it was Sports Talk Radio in Dallas. And he said that when people doubt Shams Charania's tweets, and Shams has to come out and say that he is not being hacked, that's how bad of a trade it is.
Yeah, they were saying, no, Shams has been hacked. And he's like, I have not been hacked. This is an actual trade that's taken place.
Yeah.
Shook up the NBA, man. That hasn't happened in my lifetime to the caliber of player of Luka. And then you have AD over on the Lakers. And the thing is,
who's not bad. I mean, he's an all NBA player himself.
But he's always hurt too, you know? But the thing is, the Mavs didn't even consult anybody. This was just the front office going about it in a sneaky way, right? They didn't tell the coach. They didn't tell nobody.
They didn't tell the coach.
They didn't even tell Luka.
They didn't tell Luka. They didn't even tell the agents.
Nothing.
So this is weird, man, because we have seen since LeBron James entered the league 21 years ago that control of the teams have gone towards the players, right? Control of the NBA has gone towards the players. It's gone towards Rich Paul, Clutch Sports.
Yeah.
It has gone towards the agents more than it comes from the owners. This was old school. This is 1970s Major League Baseball, where you go off and go, this is George Steinbrenner back in the day with the Yankees in the 80s.
Wow.
Just making a trade, not consulting anybody, and just boom, gone. Maverick fans are pissed off for 2 reasons, though. One is Luka's gone, and that was their guy.
Yeah.
Right? They were like, oh, my God, the torch has been passed from Dirk Nowitzki to Luka Doncic. But the second thing was they didn't auction him off. They could have gotten Giannis for him.
Yeah, they just went straight to the Lakers. They knew what they wanted.
Well, Pelinka has a relationship with the GM from the Mavericks. They could have gone out to the Spurs. Spurs would have given them.
They wanted Wemby.
No. Spurs could have given them 6. If the Spurs had been offered Luka Doncic, and we could pair Luka Doncic with Wemby, right?
Spurs fans would have said yes,
dude. I would have given 6, 7 first rounders for that.
Yeah. If you say you wouldn't have wanted Luka as a Spurs fan, you're drunk.
All in. So think about that. They got an Anthony Davis who's in his early 30s, right?
Yeah.
So he's already on the tail end of his career. Still a very good player, but on the tail end of his career, who's also getting hurt all the time. They only got 1 first-round draft pick. And I think the Maverick fans are pissed off in 2 reasons. One is because they lost their guy that they loved. Dude, Dallas sports right now is in the complete crap house.
They're in shambles.
Imagine being a Dallas fan right now, and you're like, I'm a Mavericks fan. I'm a Cowboy fan.
You're going to be losing, brother.
And dude, at this point, just set a bonfire for Cowboy jerseys and Mavericks jerseys, because this never would have happened if Mark Cuban was the owner of this team. He's a 27% owner of the team. He gave up majority control, and rightfully so.
Yeah.
He's in his 60s. Mark Cuban looks like he's in his 40s. He's in his 60s. But I would hate to be a fan of the Mavericks right now. The Lakers, though, looking at it, theoretically, they have to sell him. They can't tell Luka Doncic, well, you're going to make more money here. because actually he's taking a haircut. He's already lost $100 million because the Mavericks sent him packing. And now he has to face California taxes. It is actually so my question to you, Joe, do the Spurs send out overtures at some point? Do we send out little, hey, you liked being in Texas? I know we're small market. Think of it as a business trip. The Spurs had 0% chance of getting Luka Doncic. Right? All I'm saying is it's now 5%. Probably not going to happen, right?
Yeah.
But it is a faint heartbeat that it is possible because theoretically, the San Antonio Spurs can offer that man more money after tax than the Lakers can. I'm just saying it's a 5% chance now, when before this weekend it was 0. Our chat is powered by MCS General Contracting. They do a fantastic job. Tony O'Nallis reaches out and says, Luka is not as bad as Zion. Luka took you to the finals with that dad bod. Something else happened. There are a lot of reports out there that Luka's a dick. I saw a TikTok with the dietitian from and personal trainer for the Mavericks who said that Luka was just ridiculously bad with what he put in his body. And I shouldn't say that because, like I just inhaled a chicken biscuit from Whataburger.
Yeah.
But my job is not to run up and down the court. Well, actually, it is tonight. I have a high school basketball game.
Okay.
But you look at Luka Doncic. This was a personal trainer, right? Said that he got in trouble because he started altering the menu because he saw what Luka was drinking. Do you know what Luka was addicted to, according to this?
Hot wings.
At that weight, he said if he could contribute to one thing, he fell in love with Texas sweet tea.
Oh, damn, bro.
Rudy J, who I talked to yesterday. I love Rudy J, formerly of San Antonio Sports Star.
Some Bill Miller's
within the
tea,
building.
Man.
He hates Bill Miller's. He says Bill Miller's is responsible for half the diabetes in San Antonio because of the sweet tea. So this dietitian was going out there and he was telling Luka Doncic, this is a former Mavericks conditioning coach, dietitian, went up and said, look, I went and told Luka he needs to lay off the sweet tea, man, because he says the worst calories to have are the calories that come from liquid.
Yeah, sugar.
That is soda, that is alcohol, that is beer. He goes, your calories should be coming from food, right? But going out there and drinking orange juice and drinking sweet tea is not what makes you a 20-year NBA player. And Luka ballooned to 270. And this person was saying, hey, we took things off the menu, and he got pissed.
I'll bet.
Because they took his sweet tea away. Only in Texas does that happen, right? Because they don't have sweet tea in Slovenia. He came to Texas and was like given a glass of sweet tea. It reminded me of Giannis when Giannis first came to the United States and was trying certain foods for the first time. And he was all excited. But for Luka to be given sweet tea and for him to become addicted to it, it's the funniest story that I heard.
They can't put stevia in there, like sweetener?
Some sweet and low?
Something?
No, he wanted to put the sugar in there.
God damn.
James Pledger reaches out to us on San Antonio Sports Star. By the way, he hosts Extra Innings 6 to 7 on 94.1 FM. James Pledger says, who cares? Joker dad bod, also addicted to Diet Coke. Hasn't affected him. Well, I mean, Diet Coke is not necessarily good, but it is non-caloric, so just take that for whatever that's worth. Drusha was saying that Lamar Odom and even Sean Elliott were notorious candy mongers. Okay, but it's funny. It's funny. I'm just looking at it right now, and I'm thinking to myself, that pipe dream of Luka Doncic coming to San Antonio,
busted.
Went from 0% to 5%. Yeah. I'm not saying that we have a legit chance. All I'm saying is, that one card in the deck to complete the flush, complete the straight, it's still in the deck, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
You know what else hasn't changed?
We're not drawing dead.
You know what else hasn't changed? The Spurs continue to lose, man. They don't have Darian Fox, right?
Yeah.
On the Spurs squad right now. Now he's reportedly going from number 2 to number 4, right? Jeff Garcia said that.
Yeah, and people were upset because they were like, "Oh, we get to get rid of the Kawhi Leonard stink, right,
Yeah.
of the two." But go ahead.
So now he's going to wear the number 4. They played the Memphis Grizzlies last night. They wind up losing total to the final score of 128 to 109. Weird happenings going on, man. During the game here, it was delayed because a fan was having some type of a medical emergency where they had to go and administer CPR, and both the players on both benches were kind of like seeing this happening, and they were praying and wishing that the fan the best, and that he'll get a full recovery. But scary times, man.
Yeah, that was a very, very scary moment there. Before the game started, it was about to tip off. The players were walking onto the court for the jump ball, and all of a sudden you see one of the officials kind of start yelling, and he's telling everybody, get off the court, get off the court. And we're like, what's going on? And then people started freaking out, and then you see the paramedics come in. I had a guy reach out to me yesterday. I guess he saw what I had to say on Twitter, and he sent me a photo of what he claims he claims he took that photo yesterday at the game. And it's one of those things where I'm putting it on my screen right here. Let's see here. Let's see here. Did he erase it? Oh, he must have taken the post down. So basically, he showed a photo of what it was like at the game.
Yeah,
and he said they took the photo from the second row, and that they were showing the chest compressions being done on the guy. That is a very, very scary moment. We saw the Memphis Grizzlies lock arms and go into prayer. Spurs, I don't think they did that. I think they just kind of wandered around a little bit until it was all over.
They said Devin Vassell was saying a prayer for the fan. He was out there praying.
They did
himself.
Individually. They didn't do it as a team. But here's the photo of the Memphis Grizzlies coming together and saying a prayer for that gentleman. We don't know what happened other than the fact that CPR was administered. They said that he had a pulse or a heartbeat when he was taken off the court. He was taken off on a stretcher. Very, very, very scary moment. Delayed the game for about half an hour yesterday as EMS tried figuring out what was going on. Here's a fan video of what's going on as you see them giving CPR. No updates as to what happened, but man, this happened in the front row right before the tip-off. Imagine if the game had been going on, how crazy of a scene that would have been. But TMZ also reporting on what happened after there. I don't know if there's any update as to what happened. But again, you saw John Moran. Here's a photo right here on TMZ Sports of them wheeling out the guy.
Hopefully, whoever that person is, that individual, they're doing a lot better today in recovering from this ordeal. Because, I mean, you go to a game and, you're having trouble breathing, you're passing out, you're on the floor. He could be suffering cardiac arrest or a number of other medical emergencies. And, you just pray that he's doing well and his family is by his side, Yeah,
Stephon Castle blamed his slow start to the game on what happened.
Yeah.
He said that he got rattled and that it messed with his mindset going into the game, saying, quote, my mind was just all over the place with that. That was the first time that has ever happened to me, especially in a basketball environment. My energy was definitely off to start the game.
I got to get my mind right.
Yeah, I mean, it's a human moment.
Yeah.
These are we talk about football players being gladiators, like modern day gladiators, and basketball players.
Stuff doesn't affect them, man.
Like, yeah, exactly. They're seeing a guy who's might be dying right in front of them.
Yeah.
That's a very, very brutal thing
it's a jarring experience.
Yeah,
man. But either way, those San Antonio Spurs, they went on to lose to the Memphis Grizzlies. I mean, the Grizzlies are a better team. Right now, their record's 34-16. I think Spurs are 21-26.
Yeah, I think the stat that I saw was that the Grizzlies have beaten the Spurs 12 out of 13 times.
Yeah.
That's brutal. And we need to talk about certain players. And we had James Pledger from San Antonio Sports Star on the show yesterday. He was also in the chat. And he was asking me the question last night. He asked the question if I'm going to go after Devin Vassell.
God.
Because he goes, Devin Vassell, who he's been struggling so bad, man. Last night, 5 of 15 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3. He was 1 of 10 from 3 the game before. Devin Vassell, only 11 points. When you shoot 15 times and 6 times from 3 and you get 11 points, there's something wrong.
And
you
he's
take a look at
he played 34 minutes, Mike.
yeah.
I mean, that's all you could do.
He is streaky, man. Because if you look at the last 10 games, right? Last 10 games, he's shooting 37% from 3, which is really good. But it's because he had 6 really good games and 4 really crappy games. There was nothing that was
In between.
Yeah. He's either on fire or he's ice cold.
Yeah. The Icy Hot, bro. That's his nickname. That's going to be his nickname. Icy Hot.
Icy Hot. Now for the season right now, shooting 35.4% from 3, which is not good, not bad, just It's just you want to have something more from him. But I mentioned yesterday, and everyone told me not to mention this in the post-coital glow of the fact that the Spurs are probably too little too late when it comes to the play-in tournament. James Pledger saying that if it was Sohan, I'd be all over him. Sohan has never been a 35% three-point shooter. I'm just glad that Sohan isn't shooting a lot of attempts anymore. Sohan's hands have turned into cinder blocks. What's going on with that?
God.
What's going on with Sohan's hands? He can't catch the ball for anything anymore. He did have a good play that Chris Paul set him up for with a behind-the-back pass. Now, that was a good play. Sohan did play 21 minutes, shot 6 of 9, all the bunnies. Knocked down 2 3-pointers.
I bet you.
I got to tip of the cap to Jeremy Sohan. Yesterday, 14 points, 5 rebounds. He had himself a game.
I was going to say, I bet you it was
8 rebounds. I'm sorry.
I bet you if it was a drink, he'd catch it.
And if it was a pillar on 1604 and I-10, he'd hit it hard.
Yeah, he'd hit it hard.
He'd hit it hard. Spurs lost 128 to 109. Spurs have fallen to 21 and 26. You look at the standings, Joe, and I think one of the things that we look at is we see what it takes to be in the top 10 because Phoenix right now has the 10th spot, tied with Golden State for the last spot in the play-in tournament. 25 and 24 record. Spurs are 21 and 29. Spurs are 4.5 games behind, and a lot of Spurs fans look at that as though they're like, okay, well, we're 4.5 games behind. We just got to catch up, right? Like a baseball thing. And I look at the standings differently. I look at that 25 and 24 record that both Sacramento and Phoenix have, and I think to myself, that's a 42 and 40 team at the end of the season, right? Mm-hmm. All things being equal, 42 and 40 gets you there. So if that's it, and the Spurs are 21 and 26 rather, the Spurs would have to go 21 and 14 the rest of the way. That is 600 ball, Joe. That is 600 ball. Despite the fact that the Spurs are on the Rodeo road trip, are 7 and 13 on the road, and the Spurs are going to end the season with 5 more road games and home games, and the Spurs somehow have to play 600 ball. There's only one word that's going to describe the Spurs when it comes to the playoffs and the postseason tournament. Gone.
Everybody's saying you don't say Darren Fox. De'Aaron Fox, his name right.
Yeah.
I'm going to say his name, Darian Fox, until he can show me that he deserves me to pronounce his name
he deserves
correctly.
it already, dude. He's already an all-star. He averages 25 points per game, man.
No.
It's it.
He hasn't played one game as a Spur yet.
Who cares?
I'll say his name right.
He doesn't even know half the players' names on the team.
I'll say his
name right. He's going to look at the back and he goes, hey, who are you, Castle? How you doing, Castle?
Well, if he comes and plays his first game here, right, with San Antonio as a Spur, and he drops 20-something points, I'll say his name right.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We don't know if he's going to be on a minutes restriction. We don't know if he's going to be starting, if he's going to be coming off the bench. I'm assuming that he's going to start because, well, he's De'Aaron Fox. But that first game is going to be on ESPN tomorrow against the Atlanta Hawks. It's almost like ESPN knew that this was going to happen, right? 6 p.m. tip-off, so it's an early tip-off against Atlanta. We need to win this game because not only do we want to see the Spurs win and possibly make a run at the play-in tournament, but beyond all that, we have Atlanta's number 1 pick this year that is unprotected. Yeah. Atlanta went off and won at the buzzer yesterday, pissing everybody off. They beat the Pistons yesterday. It was a track meet. They beat the Pistons 132 to 130. Trae Young stepped over the defender after knocking down the game winner like a jackass. But as of right now, the Spurs are holding on to picks number 10 and 11 in the draft. 10 and 11. So Spurs right now with a 23 3% chance of being in the top 4.
Damn, man, that ain't gonna happen, dude.
But here's the thing, Joe. Here's the thing. If the Spurs can fall behind one more team, that Portland team or Chicago, if that Spurs or Atlanta move can move upward, right? So what I'm saying is if we lose enough or Atlanta loses enough, and there's only a 2-game difference between Portland and Atlanta. If we can get Atlanta to fall behind Portland, our chances go from 23%, Joe, to 33%. So you're saying there's a chance. We need Philadelphia to go on a roll. Philadelphia, who was supposed to be a good team this year. We need Philadelphia to start doing good. We need Atlanta to lose. So those are the teams that we need to see as time goes on, because the Spurs are only 2.5 games away from Philadelphia. Atlanta's only 3 games away from Philadelphia. Philadelphia gets on a roll. Portland starts winning a couple of games. Atlanta starts losing.
Yeah.
Suddenly, we got a 50% chance of being in the top 4.
Spurs team's fool's goal, even with Fox on the team, bro.
No, you know what?
We're gonna get into that play, bro. Come on.
We're not, man. But I had to give the Spurs 24 hours, right? So I didn't post that till like midnight last night. It was like 11:45. I jumped the gun 15 minutes early. I wasn't gonna be the guy that goes, "You do realize that we're not making the play-in, right?" Okay, we got to play 600 ball, and we have 5 more road games and home games. And by the way, 2 of those home games are not even in the Frost Banks.
Even with this team plays with no heart. Wimpy got us, dude.
Okay, well, let's talk about Wemby last night. Wemby was getting beaten the hell up yesterday. Wemby showed yesterday probably the reason why he doesn't want to play center.
Yeah,
he was getting busted yesterday. I thought at one moment yesterday that the whole Fox Wemby thing was not going to happen this season. After seeing Wemby hit the floor multiple times yesterday. Yeah. One of them was a hard hit. I did see that one. One of them I thought was a bit of a flop. But, yeah.
When we're going to have a tribute video to Collins.
Dark Aeons coming in strong.
Oh, it's time to tank for a good pick.
Yeah, that's what JHNSB is saying. Is it time yet? It isn't. I don't think it's time yet, man. The head of a fist says this turned into the Alamo City Haters podcast
because they said I wouldn't say his name right. I said I'll say his name right when he drops 20.
Well, De'Aaron Fox is a great player. I saw that interview with Harrison Barnes pregame that Bally Sports was showing, and you reminded me yesterday that Harrison Barnes played with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah, reunited.
And Harrison Barnes was saying, you do not know what you're getting with him. Not only is he a fantastic player, but he's a great guy. He's a family man. He's not going to be the one hitting the clubs. You know, he's a family man. And why is he wearing number 4? It's what his wife wore in college when she played ball.
It's nice guy, man.
So, you know, and he didn't force anybody to give up their number. You know, that's a pretty cool thing as well.
Yeah, look at what our friend of the show did here. Elias, good friend of mine. He went ahead and made this graphic yesterday. I retweeted it. There it is. You know, Fox, you got Castle, and you got Wemby there. Nice, man. Good at it, dude.
It's good, man. And the Spurs do have a bright future now that we have De'Aaron Fox here. We haven't had a point guard that good since prime Tony Parker.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
You know what?
And Chris Paul, don't get me wrong. You know, there was more tread on the tires of Chris Paul than I gave him credit for. But the fact of the matter is that we've been playing this year without an elite point guard. And we have no idea what Wemby's capable of with an elite point guard. We have no idea what Castle is capable of with an elite point guard. We have no idea what Sohan is capable of with an elite point guard. So really, to be honest with you, Wednesday is the start of something new.
Yeah. Hopefully they win.
Joe, what are some of my nicknames that we have here for me? Well, James Pledger used to call me one all the time.
What do you call you? Moron?
Well, no, he would call me some idiot, whatever.
Moron, idiot. I love when Pledge gets mad, dude. You get Pledge so upset.
I do.
He gets so animated.
There were some times when we would do radio shows together where I forgot that we were actually on the radio.
He gets so angry.
But he calls me, and it was also John Dyer who called me Skip Bayless, right?
Skip Menace. Skip Menace.
Let's hear what Daddy has to say. Let's hear what Skip Bayless has to say about the pairing of Wemby.
Do we have to, man?
This is on his Twitter account. This is the real Skip Bayless.
The San Antonio Spurs just flat out highway robbery stole the Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings.
That's how you say his name.
For just 2 first-round picks this year, the 2025 first and a 2027 first for the Aaron Fox. And you know what my first thought was? Hey, Wemby, Victor Wembanyama, your honeymoon just ended. Now you're going to be held accountable because your all-time great stats aren't translating into winning. Wemby, your team as we speak is 21-25. And now you got your all-star running mate. You got your new pick and roll partner for the next 5, 10, who knows, 12 years. It's you two. And actually, Victor, it's just you.
So let's talk about that. For Skip Bayless to come out and say, Wemby, your honeymoon is over. Okay. Honeymoon is over. Think about that.
Yeah.
Has Wemby been given the benefit of the doubt of, well, you just have bad players around you. You know, you don't have the pieces around you. It's a young core and all that stuff. Does the bringing of De'Aaron Fox, is Daddy, Skip Bayless, accurate in saying honeymoon's over, baby?
Yeah, he can't be out there doing wimpy ganas no more. You got to go out there and do something.
That I found that to be funny, man. Hooper Flash wants me to call me his Skip Jimenez again, and Skip needs to go to a game is what Hooper Flash says. I just find it really interesting. Sam Salinas saying that is probably the most legit thing that he has ever said. Tex-Mex Strike with a $2 super chat saying, we'll pay not to see Skippy again. But think about it, Joe. I saw that, Joe, and I thought to myself, he's right. He's right. Honeymoon is over. So it begins Wednesday. And that's the great thing about it, Joe. I'm assuming that they're going to have De'Aaron Fox go out there and play 28 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Start the game. Maybe have a lineup of Fox, Castle, Vassell, I don't know, Wemby, and Sohan, right? Let's just see what they got.
Yeah.
Let's just see what they got.
And did we forget in the whole thing? You know, now we got De'Aaron Fox. I like to say his name right until he drops 20. But we also got another player, McLaughlin.
Yeah. Sorry, but I don't think he'll ever sniff the court.
They have him in a freaking jersey.
A 6-foot shooting guard. Well, they photoshopped him pretty badly, in fact.
You're not going to go buy your jersey?
He's going to show up at the Rocket Locantera and his key card's not going to work. He's like, oh, damn, did I get cut already?
I can't even get in the Spurs club.
It's gonna be like the movie Major League. He's going to open up the locker. It's going to be a red tag right there.
Oh, God, dude.
But here's the thing about that, Joe. We don't know what we don't know about these teams, about these players. How many games in his career has Wemby played with a all-star caliber point guard? 0. Devin Vassell's been on this team for what, 5 seasons? How many seasons has he? How many games in the 400 games he's played with the Spurs? 300, 400 games, whatever he's played with the Spurs. How many games has Devin Vassell played with an all-star caliber point guard? 0.
What did they have? Trey Jones.
Come
on, dude.
I mean, I can't even think about it. I know they had DeJounte Murray, right? But DeJounte Murray doesn't hold a candle to De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah. And Trey Jones, what's his name now?
Gone. But look at Sohan. How many games has he played with an all-star caliber? None.
So Sohan had to play point guard. That's how bad it was.
So we don't know what these guys are capable of because they've never played. Think about it this way, Joe. You know, you look at quarterbacks, right? Look at Tom Brady. I'm not going to equate De'Aaron Fox to Tom Brady. But remember when Tom Brady went from New England to Tampa Bay and suddenly all the ships rose, right? High tide raises all ships. That's what I'm saying. All of a sudden, he took that team to a Super Bowl because you had a better quarterback, right?
Yeah.
You put a good point guard in, you put an elite point guard in. Does the high tide raise all the ships?
You would think so.
Does it suddenly make Sohan better? Does it suddenly make Wemby better?
You would think
Does
so.
it suddenly make Vassell better?
But you haven't factor in one important thing and one important ingredient in this whole scenario, right? Everybody excited. We got Fox. It's going to make the team better. No doubt it will make the team better. But you know what's going to make this team worse? The return of one Coach Popovich.
Dude, I think what the listener who was saying that you are, what's it called? Being all sad. What was it? What was the phrase?
Grumpy.
Oh,
I don't know.
The Alabama City Hater podcast.
Yeah.
Man, dude, why did you have to do that, man? I hadn't even thought
You're
about
flying
that.
high, but I said, hold my beer. Hold my beer.
$5 super chat. Taco Tuesday says you can say McLaughlin Bright, but not De'Aaron. Give the man the respect he deserves.
I'm gonna say his name,
Haterade.
De'Aaron Fox. Until he wins and he gets me 20 points, then I'll call him.
No. It'd be better if you call him kind of like Key and Peele, Aaron.
Aaron. We need to give Fox a name. He needs a nickname.
Well, it's funny because I don't know, because like foxes, coyotes. I don't know why I think they're in the same family, but they're probably not. It's kind of funny.
Don't coyotes eat foxes?
Yeah. Let's get some love to Jeff Garcia from Locked On Spurs and Ken's 5 daily content of your silver and black.
Locked On Spurs is your daily Spurs podcast, hosted by Jeff Garcia, the lead Spurs writer for Ken's 5 San Antonio. Jeff has a healthy plethora of guests all the time on the Locked On Spurs podcast. You can also follow Jeff on threads at Jeff G Ken's 5 SA. You can also follow Jeff on Twitter at Jeff G Spurs Zone. So make sure you go ahead and give Jeff a follow not only on threads and Twitter, but also on YouTube at youtube.com/@Locked On Spurs. This is where you're going to be able to find the replay of the Locked On Spurs podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share.
That's right. Subscribe at Jeff G Spurs Zone on Twitter. Again, I subscribe on Spotify and YouTube as well. More than 5,500 people do as well. Taking a look, if you want to show his Twitter stream real fast. There's a commercial that you can see that's for Toyota that stars Chris Paul and Stephon Castle, filmed in San Antonio.
They just did that
about what they did in the
this
community
morning or something, dude.
Very, very, very nice. So you can learn more about that story by following Jeff Garcia, also at kens5.com. He has an article also about the Spurs losing to the Grizzlies 128-109 last night. Stephon Castle being interviewed after the game. Again, he said he was rattled, shaken up by that fan who was in a life-threatening situation, getting CPR right before the game, right there in the front row.
That shows that you just got a heart, man. I mean, you don't want to see anybody going through something like that, you know? I mean, the thing that would go through my mind, no matter who it would be, is they got a family, right? Do they have kids? They got a wife? They got somebody that loves them, and they're here going through this, man, and you just got to wish them the best.
Exactly. It shows that you're human, like you said.
Yeah.
And this is what it looks like, Luka Doncic in a Lakers uniform. Now, I know that this is photoshopped, but that's what we're going to be seeing. Number 77.
Yeah, they took away one of his double chins, bro.
They did. Yeah. He hasn't been that skinny since he was 16. You know, what's the drinking age in Slovenia? Like 12?
10. You pull up to the bar and want a Happy Meal and the beer to go, bro.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like that Whataburger that's in Vegas on the Strip. You could get a beer with it. Can you imagine if that happened in San Antonio?
God, dude. They would shut the place down here in San Antonio, man. Can you imagine if you have a knockoff, right? A Whataburger like they do across the border. Whataburger's doing it right, dude. You can go get your burger and a beer.
That's right. Tim Gonzalez saying Joe Garcia, when he saw that Zach Collins had been traded, he said to himself, good.
I did. I said, hallelujah. You know, like Medea.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
$5 super chat coming in from Tony Ornelas. Thank you so much for that. says Joe needs some mota in his life. He loves Fox yesterday. Now back to being Bob the Bummer. That's funny. So Joe, when you smoke out, Joe, do you smoke out to relax? Or you smoke up to perk up?
Shoot, I can't even smoke out now. I don't because I got my clearance.
Oh, that's right.
At any time, the man upstairs can be like, you know what? I want you to go pee in this cup.
Yeah.
Let me get a lock of your hair.
Let me get a lock of your
hair. Because they say it stays in the hair, right, for like 6 months or so.
Right.
So I can't even do any of that. That's like if I go to the karaoke party and all this other stuff, I'll have a couple beers if I'm driving, like 1 or 2, but I can't really be slamming them back because if I lose my clearance, I lose my job. I can't be getting a DUI.
Wow. I don't smoke out very often. Maybe twice a year.
Yeah.
Maybe twice a year. I will say this though, Joe. Smoked out the Frost Bank Center during the Ice Cube concert.
Jeez.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Well, you didn't.
And I wasn't the only one. Everyone was flaring up. Like how do they not see that everyone had pot?
How are they gonna stop it, dude?
Right.
You know,
and I'm not the one who brought it. A friend of mine brought it. It was like, hey, you want some? All right. The special herb, the wacky tobacco.
There you go.
The devil's plant.
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce.
Oh,
people are gonna be like, Tall Tale Jimenez was smoking out at the Bone Thugs concert.
Oh,
dude, did I ever tell you about the when I was at San Antonio Sports Star and we went to Radio Row? One of the things that we did was the Ditka and Jaws party. It's the Ron Jaworski, Mike Ditka party. And we went to this one hotel in LA, an outdoor courtyard.
Yeah.
Right. And it was so much fun out there. And it's going on probably tonight or tomorrow. So my old friends at San Antonio Sports Star, I'm sure, are going to head out there. Right.
Yeah.
But they had, when I was there, this massive table. Picture one of those picnic tables, those like 6 to 8 footers.
Yeah.
About a foot and a half high of just marijuana joints. Just
damn.
And they're like, everyone take some. Try to limit yourself to 6.
6? Man, do they have like food trucks?
They gave them for free.
They got food trucks around there because people get hungry, man.
Oh no, they had all you can eat while you were there, man.
Yeah, hope so.
It was interesting, man. That was also the day that I got to meet various players and celebrities and things like that, and I got to meet Byron Scott, formerly of the Lakers. He was interesting. He was fun. There was a Saints player that I got to meet over there. Oh, the best one was Stu Gatz.
Oh, okay.
From the Dan Le Batard show.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather meet Dan Le Batard.
Sam Salinas saying, "My catching a cloud doesn't count, you cheap ass." You know, I got 5 on it. I'm there here.
Catching a cloud.
You know what's so sad? What's so sad about me with marijuana is that like I usually just bum a friend's marijuana and I trade it for alcohol, right? Like I'll go.
Let me go get my Firebird. Was it your Fireball?
I'll get you some Fireball. I'll get you some Buffalo Trace, right? But like I've gone to the dispensaries in Arizona. I've gone to a dispensary in Nevada, in Vegas. It's weird going to a dispensary. Because remember how taboo it was to get pot? It's like, dude, I know somebody who has, whatever. But you go to Vegas, you go to Phoenix, Arizona, and it's on every corner. Every corner.
Yeah.
Being potted up in Jamaica. It's everywhere. I have no problem with it. Mario Cavazos coming out and says, everyone and their mother had weed at the Cypress Hill concert I went to in the 90s at the Live Oak Civic Center. Woo! Live Oak Civic Center.
Oh, like Bear County. Let me know if you need.
if I have some needs. Well, February 22nd, we might need some.
You know where they could do it legal too, man? In Washington, dude. Washington, D.C.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
So, dude, no lie. If you know what? I'll let you all kick my ass if I change the date again, but we're going to do February 22nd.
We can put you up there like a piñata, $5 a hit.
Yeah. I got my girl coming. Her friends are going to be coming along as well.
You said they're single, right?
I think they are. I think she told me that. You know, it just is what it is.
Yeah.
I got my girl. Tomorrow, no show tomorrow.
Yeah, no show tomorrow. I'm gonna be busy tomorrow, man. Got some things to do, but we shall return the rest of the week with some guests.
You got things to do. I'm actually in training for my job. I'm thinking about expanding my business, Joe.
Nice.
Tell me what you think about this. So if you want to show my number, by the way, I've been in financial services for 19 years. I restarted my financial practice during COVID in 2021. My number is 210-508-0369. Financial planning when it comes to like investments, retirement, old 401ks, old IRAs. I had a family member the other day who said, I have multiple 401ks. I don't know what to do with them. You consolidate them if you want.
Yeah.
College savings, life insurance, disability, long-term care. I've been doing this for 19 years, but I was doing it on the management level for so long. I restarted my own practice again back in 2021 during COVID. Joe, I'm tinkering with the idea because I am licensed.
Yeah.
I'm tinkering with the idea of opening up an auto insurance agency on top of what I'm doing. So I already have a financial practice where I manage a good chunk of money from people.
Mm-hmm.
I have an insurance practice on life insurance and disability. I'm thinking, why not? It's a law. Everyone needs it. Why not just pick up some auto policies along the way?
What's your auto insurance going to be called? You know how they have Geico and you have Progressive.
Well, I'm not going to
I know you're going to just sell whatever else.
Right.
That you're going to rebrand, resell it. But I'm saying I'll make it fun because I'm like, everybody they have a name, right? When you have an insurance.
Right. So my business partner wants to name it Fortuna.
Okay.
Fortuna has its origins, and I'm not saying that we're going to do this, but this is what he brought up to me yesterday.
Yeah.
It basically means good health, good luck, good faith. That's basically what it is. I don't know. But basically it's about being healthy and all that stuff.
I was going to give you a nickname, a name for that. Because everybody makes fun of you, right? Because they're like, you're not Mexicano and this and that. You should call the insurance ICE.
So, JHS, we saying Fortuna? Kind of, sort of, but maybe in one word. It's Fortunium. Fortunium. Let me see. Let me look at that. Fortunium. Let me see what Fortunium meaning is. That's what he brought up the other day.
And look, they have a picture of Darren Fox.
Fortunium means to gather fortune.
Okay. See, I said his name right. Darren Fox.
Aaron Fox.
Darren Fox.
Tony says going to call it the Skips Auto Insurance. No cap insurance.
No cap. Oh God.
No, but that's the thing, and that's the thing. All you guys are here. You see, all you guys here on this that are watching, listening. You got to think of me, man. You got to think of me. Remember the movie Major League 2?
I remember that one.
Remember when Serrano was saying this? When it comes to business, when it comes to investments, when it comes to your auto insurance and all that stuff, bring that to me, man.
Yeah, but I was saying, man, you got your first look here at Darren Fox. You see, I said his name right.
Yeah, I like it, dude. I mean, we haven't had this since Tony.
Yeah, and there's City Sissoko. They photoshopped him, of course, in the Kings.
Do you know what upset me? I'm going to look this up real fast. So we had the 2023 draft last year, a couple years ago, right?
Yeah.
And the Spurs drafted City Sissoko in that draft. They also drafted Victor Wembanyama, right? So we go through the list of players that were drafted, right? And you go to the Spurs, and the Spurs at number 44, I'm looking at it right now, drafted City Sissoko. Do you know what number 45? Okay, for those of you who are like, Michael Jimenez doesn't know ball.
God.
45 was one of my favorite college players. And Jack Thompson from San Antonio Sports Star as well was a big fan of him as well.
Yeah.
G.G. Jackson dropped to number 45 in the draft.
Really?
And G.G. Jackson, who was the youngest player in the draft, right now is 20. He's in his year 2. He's 20. He just turned 20 this month, or last month rather.
Yeah.
He was the youngest guy. The youngest guy in all of college basketball to be starring out there. Right now, averaging 9 points and 4 rebounds, right? But last night, just beat up on the Spurs, man. It seemed like every 2 minutes, I'm seeing Gigi Jackson doing something. He was a head case, right? And if you go onto my Twitter account and look up Gigi Jackson, you're going to see that I was talking about him all freaking year. That Gigi Jackson was my guy. And last, I'm going to look up his stats. It seemed like he was everywhere yesterday. Gigi Jackson yesterday played 28 minutes, shot 11 for 20, including 4 of 9 from 3.
Damn.
27 points last night from Gigi Jackson. 27 points from Gigi Jackson last night, right? And the Spurs drafted City Sissoko instead. And by the way, because I want to show my bona fides here, I'm going to go onto my Twitter account. I'm going to search Gigi Jackson. And all of these texts, all of this right here is about Gigi Jackson.
Well, they can't see it because of the way the stupid capture card is, but we got a new one on order. It'll be here by the weekend.
So Gigi Jackson was my favorite guy, man. At some point, dude, prognosticators had him as the top 5 prospect behind Brandon Miller, Wemby, and Amen Thompson, right?
Yeah.
But because of injuries, he slid to the second round, and the Spurs couldn't take a flyer on a 5-star prospect who rocked out in college, who then just got hurt. And Gigi Jackson goes on and goes off of 27 points yesterday, 28 points. What's it called? Who says I've never heard you talk about this guy? Tony Nellis.
Mario Cavasso says, I never heard you.
Oh, I've never talked about Gigi Jackson on this podcast, but if you listen to Halftime on San Antonio Sports Star or Jimenez and Spence back in the day, I would always bring up Gigi Jackson. Like, that was my dude. That was my guy.
You know what's been weird, dude? I'm going to share something personal with you guys, right? I keep seeing this thing pop up on my Facebook, right? It says Facebook dating.
Yeah.
You know, like they have Bumble and all that other crap. So I said, I'm already on Facebook. Let me go ahead and make a profile and see what happens, right?
Oh, you did?
I made a profile. I put it up the other day, man. And instantly, like, I got like a couple hits here, 6, 7 hits here.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up this morning and I have like 5, 6 ladies saying, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell? I guess it works, you know?
Well, that's where I met this lady.
Yeah.
That's where I met my girlfriend.
Like you said, everything happens online, right?
I met Francesca out there on Facebook dating. Yep. You know, it works. Facebook dating's free, man.
It's free. Yeah.
It's a free site, and you can also tell if you have mutual friends. So that's the cool thing is that, you know, if you have mutual friends, you can go, who is this person? You know,
who is this person?
So the weird thing about when I started dating Francesca was that we talked on the phone for over a month before meeting in person.
Oh, okay.
And the thing about it is that I didn't know that she lived that far away, because when you put on there, it says how far of a radius you want to. Okay. There's something called a bonus pick or a lucky pick or something like that, and that's what she was, and I had no idea what that meant. That meant that she lived far.
Ah, so that's why they say it's a lucky pick.
Yeah. So the thing about it is that we were talking on the phone for the longest time, assuming that we lived in the same area. After about a month, she was like, well, let's get together. And then I said, okay. And then she's like, wait a minute, where do you live? And I'm like, oh, I live in West Bear County. She goes, oh, where the hell's Bear County?
San Antonio.
I said, outside of San Antonio. She goes, I live in Conroe. So the thing is that should have been the end of it.
Yeah, but it was not.
But I happened to have a business trip that week to Houston. And she lives an hour outside of Houston.
Yeah, Conroe's a nice place.
Oh, it's
man.
beautiful, dude.
Love Conroe.
It's what Bernie was before. It's what Bernie was in the 90s.
Yeah, it's just a nice, quiet, little sleepy town, dude.
Yeah.
I love it. If I had to move somewhere, I would want to go there, dude. I want to go to Conroe.
Yeah. No, but this was a date night there in Barbados. She's a good girl, dude. She's a good girl. Mike selected Latina, but not too ethnic. Well, here's the thing about my girl.
Uh,
My girl refers to herself as Mexican. She's actually mostly Native American. So where I was going with that was I actually had a business trip to Houston that week, and I was working in downtown Houston. I said, "Hey, well, I'm already going to be there. Do you want to go to an Astros game?" We went to the Astros game, and dude,
is that where
that was it.
Ohani hit that?
Tani hit that home run that just
The thunderous crack of the bat that scared the crap out of you.
dude. It went like this. Okay, so I'm sitting there with Francesca. It's our first date. We're enjoying ourselves. We're having some drinks, and then all of a sudden, now she played college softball, by the way.
Yeah.
We're just watching the game, and the hit happened so hard. She went like this. We both went like this. She went, like it was the first time in baseball history that I have gone to games where we thought that someone got shot, and it was Ohtani hitting a home run. Like we went we jumped out of our seat, and the ball's just sailing. So yeah, Facebook dating, man, kind of works.
Kind of works. We'll see. You know what was funny here, man? Look at that.
What's
hand over fist, but Joe got better game.
I hope
than
so.
MJ, guaranteed.
I hope so. I hope so. I got myself a good one. I ain't mad.
Oh.
I ain't mad. I ain't mad.
Mike, hook up Joe with your Nuggets friends. Tell her she's in Montgomery County. That's what Drew's show says.
Actually, where she is now is if you go to $2.
Yeah.
She's in Montgomery County, but now it's where it's basically the Woodlands now. You know. So yeah, so there's all those little towns out there: Willis, Montgomery, there's Conroe, there's Shenandoah, there's the Woodlands, there's Spring, all that stuff. Cleveland, Cut and Shoot.
Yeah,
those are all that area right there. It's nice. I like it out there.
It is nice, man.
So I'll be actually working in Houston tomorrow because my financial firm, I used to work with it's called a broker dealer. It's the one who monitors your investment activity.
Yeah.
They got bought out, and the company that bought them out finally decided to take over.
Yeah, look at this.
And I have to go to training.
They have the Luca conference. The Luca.
Oh, is that live
Francis.
right now?
Yeah, live. Look at man, that brother don't look happy, dude. Look at him.
His body is contorted in a certain way.
He looks pissed, dude.
It's got to be. Can we play with it?
There's no audio.
Let me see.
Oh, there it is. There.
I think it's interesting if all of us watch Luka play. He has a combination of basketball joy and killer instinct, which is really rare. That was number 8, number 24. And I think learning lessons from that mentality are to stay in the moment. And so I don't think of it in terms of shot.
Yeah, that's all they're talking about, dude. But Luka looks distraught. Look at him. He looks like he just broke up with his ex. You know? I still love her, bro. I'm weak. Take the phone away from me, brother.
So I'm reading right now that on in Major League Baseball, the voter who left Ichiro Suzuki off the ballot for the Hall of Fame is refusing to reveal him or herself. I'm going to go ahead and assume it's a himself. So they had on January 21st the announcement of who's going to make the Hall of Fame. And it's very rare that you have someone who gets all 100% of the vote. And Ichiro appeared on 393 of 394 ballots, which means only one person voted against him. And Ichiro said through an interpreter, "I would like to know who that writer is. I would like to invite him to my house. We can have a drink together and we'll have a good chat." Ichiro had 3,000 hits, if I'm not mistaken, and I think he started his career at 27. You know, he was a cheat code. Of all the different players out there that played baseball, he was a cheat code because he was so fast, Joe, and he batted lefty that if he just slapped the ball on the ground, he was already halfway to first by the time you knew what was up. He was a cheat code.
Yeah,
he was so good. We go $2 real fast. Christian Ochoa reached out to us and saying that Luka bought a house last week that he'd be pissed. I heard Anthony Davis had also bought a house as well.
Yeah, look at that. We got $1.99 super chat coming in from Tony Ornelas. Nico's nugget wife.
Does Nico have a nugget wife?
I bet Luka and her hooked up.
Let me see here. So Nico Tyrone Harrison, right? Nico Harrison wife. Let me see here. I mean, yeah,
Damn, Mike.
I prefer my nugget. Not even worth looking at the screen, to be honest with you.
You have to say that, bro.
Huh?
So you have to say that. You're with Chica now.
Oh, dude, Chica's hot, dude.
Oh, and we also got to give some love to MCS General
do it.
Contracting, man. MCS General Contracting, more than 30 years of combined experience in concrete placement. They are the best in the business. Honest pricing, high quality work. They get going on house foundations, driveways, concrete patio decks. If you want to extend the deck, extend the driveway. If you're a business and you need to put together a slab, a parking lot, or other concrete placement services or sidewalks, reach out to MCS General Contracting at 210-774-9155. They're confident in their skills, so give Chris Leha over at MCS General Contracting a call at 210-774-9155. And thank you for being a sponsor of this show.
Diamond hard concrete, baby. That is what they do. Give Chris Leha and the fellows a call if you have that concrete placement need. 210-774-9155. I don't care if you need a slab for your house, you need a sidewalk, if you need a driveway, a patio, a parking lot, give them a call. Become ADA compliant if you have a business.
Yeah.
210-774-9155.
Home of the diamond hard concrete, man.
Some breaking news in the past 30 minutes or so on TMZ Sports right now. Tiger Woods' mom died.
Wow, dude.
So that announcement made within the past half hour. Tiger Woods, obviously his dad had passed away a long time ago, and he seems to have been a different person ever since then. Tiger Woods was, think about how on top of the world Tiger Woods was 20 years ago. He was the greatest athlete in the world, the most revered and loved athlete in the world. Then it comes out that he's a sex fiend with dozens of women. Not only cheated on his wife, but cheated on his wife with dozens of women. She took half his stuff, man.
Oh, yeah, dude.
And Elin Nordgren, I believe is her name. And, she beat the crap out of him one time, or threatened to that one time. And then he got into that car accident where he's trying to speed away from her. Then he got into another car accident.
Almost
he
lost
was
his leg.
Never the same. And he was on track to becoming the greatest golfer of all time. Some still say that he is, but we'll never know the depths of what he could have had. And he's just not the same anymore. Now living vicariously through his son's life. But his mother was 80 years old upon passing. Also, announcement that Donald Trump, President of the United States, will be attending Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans. Not a big fan of presidents doing this. Is not a Democrat or Republican thing. But with all that happened last week or last month in New Orleans, when you had that terrorist attack out there, and you had on Bourbon Street, but more than 10 people died.
Yeah.
When someone barreled through and started shooting up the place.
And New Year's Eve.
It's a cluster F to begin with at the Super Bowl. At a anybody who's a president, it's going to make it even worse.
You think they can keep the lights on this time?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I was reading an article yesterday saying that the ticket prices for the Super Bowl this year are 30% lower than what they were last year and 50% lower than what they were like a couple of years ago. And part of it is that New Orleans is not the draw that it is anymore, right? There's security concerns. There's some fatigue when it comes to, I know it's a three-peat and you can have history and all that. That's for sports fans.
Yeah.
Right? But for the casuals out there, not really. New Orleans is a hard place to go in and out of. It's not like going to LA or going to Phoenix or going to Vegas when it comes to watching a game.
It's a bit.
JHNSB asking about Mike doesn't know what the Chevy girls are talking about.
Yeah, they said.
Oh,
What happened with the Chevy Camino Real girls? They said you stopped that after you got with Chica.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to that.
There's no demon time no more.
It comes in and out every once in a while, but no, it's funny because the Chevy girls are interesting because I saw one the other day, where they're doing the best of. I thought that was kind of funny. It was like the best of Jess and the best of Anna. What's the other one's name? The one with the short hair?
I don't know. I just know the one that I like, Thicky.
Thicky. Joe. Thank you for breakfast today, man.
Yeah, no problem. You brought those tacos and you brought stuff into the studio before. It's like I'm already here. I'll get something from my guy.
I appreciate it, man. So we're gonna have no show tomorrow, but on Thursday we're gonna talk about the Spurs, their first game with De'Aaron Fox. We're gonna get a glimpse of number 4 in action. So we'll talk about that. What's Tony coming up on? Saying, Mike, do not ignore the comments. What's going on? Scroll up. One more. What happened to the Chevy girls? New rules for the new nugget? Proud of you, Mijo. Keep it classy. Well, you know what's so funny is that I've also cleaned up the language a little bit.
Why, she didn't like you cussing? Or?
No, she's never even watched the show. I would bet you in the time that she and I have been together, she might have watched 1 minute of the show.
She said, I'm out.
Well, she doesn't watch sports.
Yeah.
She goes, I cannot believe there are people who actually listen to you talk. And I said, well, that's like sports talk radio. That's like a whole like channel. She goes, foreign concept. You know, Chica listens to 90s R&B and country music. That is it. There's no podcasts.
Nothing.
There's no
like
talk
that.
radio.
Yeah.
There's none of that. I need a good podcast, dude. You know what? I was looking at my bank statement. Peacock keeps billing me for crap that I don't even have, man.
Really?
Yeah,
Got to find out what that is and cut it off, man.
I got to figure that out, man. But everyone have a fantastic. Tony Annalis, Joe cusses now more than ever. No more cussing, Joe.
Look at this. Mike calling New Orleans a poor city.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, there it is.
It is.
Poorer than San Antonio.
It's a Samson says, how so, Mike? My bet would be that Taylor Swift has tighter security than the president. Actually, her security is actually considered to be pretty chill. I mean, don't get me wrong, they'll F you up, but it seems to be pretty chill. When you're talking about Secret Service, when you're talking about things like that, she's not bringing Secret Service in or anything like that.
Yeah.
They have to do a walkthrough. They have to have an order of this and the other. It's just, it's a spectacle in itself, right? You know, it's a spectacle in itself. The security is crazy. When I went to Radio Row, Radio Row had security for days. You add any president, whether it be Obama, whether it be Trump or Bush or whomever, Clinton, whoever, it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
It makes it worse for the fans.
And it does, man. And some of the Spurs fans are already making me laugh online because they're saying, welcome, Jordan McLaughlin, right?
There you go.
And they're like, he's going to play a total of 5 minutes the rest of the season.
And then he's what?
Gone.
We're gone tomorrow. Everyone hit the like button on the way out. Thank you so much for the super chats, guys. Keeping us in business, man. We really love it. Again, my number 210-508-0369 if you have any needs for insurance or investments or anything like that. And yeah, thinking about starting that auto insurance, man. I think I'm going to get that going probably in the next week or so. Everyone have a fantastic day. We'll be back on Thursday. Go Spurs, go.